The outdoors and I have a long history together. I would describe myself as an avid hiker who is constantly seeking the excitement of novel experiences and the rush of exploration. I would hit the trails twice a week, always looking for new experiences and sights. However, there was one path, an old friend, that permanently altered my view of the forest. I went to the trailhead in the evening. A pitch-black night was taking over as the sun's golden rays were beginning to fade. I wouldn't have turned around when most people would have. A night hike excited me. The first stretch went very smoothly. There was just enough faint glow from the moon to be able to see the path. However, time distorts when you're alone in the deep woods, and before I knew it, I had forgotten what time it was. My once familiar path appears shaky as darkness engulfed the forest. My self-esteem collapsed. The path that I had believed to be permanently etched in my mind blurred, and the trees that had once seemed like old friends felt strange. Discomfited, I dismissed it, figuring I would eventually find a turning point to return to. However, my markers had disappeared, engulfed by the darkness. Panic followed quickly after fear began to set in. When I realized I had to go back and start over, my heart skipped a beat. But the forest felt as though it was drawing me in closer, rather than guiding me towards safety. My footsteps were followed by menacing whispers from the snapping of branches and rustling leaves. I had the impression that the tall trees above were observing and judging me. My flashlight suddenly died, leaving me in complete darkness. Fumbling to get the batteries changed, my heart pounded in my chest. I was terrified of what might be hiding in the shadows, so I dared not look around. Then I heard it though, fast footsteps approaching. Desperate to get that light back, my hands trembled as I fiddled with the batteries. When it finally did, two figures appeared in front of me as it pierced the night. I stopped dead in my tracks as their dark laughter sliced through the atmosphere. I gulped as two men with menacing smiles moved forward, their faces obscured by shadows. As they struck, delivering vicious blows and pilfering my possessions, my heart tightened with fear. My body was racked with pain, rendering me powerless. They disappeared into the night, leaving my backpack in ruins. I struggled to stand again and staggered ahead. I have to get away. My tired feet finally brought me to a road, a thin strip of survival, slicing through the dense forest. I got a phone call from a nice person who stopped. I called the police while shaking my hands and telling them all of the horrors I had experienced. When the cops arrived, a sliver of hope appeared. I revealed every detail in hopes that justice would be served. They promised to look into it after taking notes. The next day my wallet was found, and there was a call. Even though those men were still at large, I felt a wave of relief. However, my backpack and phone had not turned up. Once a pleasant companion, that trail has turned into a terrifying reminder of the perils lurking in the shadows. I had a hard lesson that evening. We can become lost in our own vulnerabilities in addition to the forest, even as experienced hikers like me.